You're saying that Krug, can make money playing video games.
Mm-hmm. You can absolutely make money. And you don't even have to be a pro.
How?
Well, you just got to be better than an 8-year-old.
Oh, well, it's like 2 years of practice. I'll get there.
But then those 8-year-olds will be 10.
Shit. Hi, everybody. Welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
Today, we're here to talk to you about Fortnite. A lot of Fortnite things.
Yeah, this is. We're going to be talking about a couple of different topics. First of all, the fact that Epic Games decided, hey, we're going to release on the Android phone, which is yes, finally the Android can get some love, but not through the Google Play Store.
Yeah, there's a lot of implications here that I'm nerding out about. But baseline first. They're releasing the APK for their game as opposed to just giving it to Google and having Google distribute it through the Play Store. That helps the company out, Epic Games, because they are not losing 30% of the in-game profits.
Which is a massive, I knew it was a high number, but I never realized it was 30%.
Yeah, and we sort of peeked into this during the iOS and Steam app thing, but I don't think we ever specified how much Google took.
I think the issue is the fact that Steam's a large company. They want more money from them.
You would be right, because the next bit, the business bit of the whole situation, is actually where we see the problem. And so, 30% is really high. They say they would have done the same thing with Apple.
Yes.
They would have just excluded the App Store, but they can't.
No.
That's not how iPhones work.
Yeah, iOS is so closed off in how their marketing system works that you can't go around it. There are ways, but it would just be such...
You'd have to have your end users jailbreak their phones.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and because the Android market is a little bit more open, they're able to do this, which makes sense because the amount of money that they're making on iOS right
even
now,
with the cut.
So they're estimatingly making $2 million a day.
That's nuts.
And that's before the 30%.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're looking at a $600,000 profit for iOS before doing anything. iOS is literally just
look, they are doing stuff.
They're processing payments.
They're hosting the file, making sure that it's safe, distributing it, providing the bandwidth and stuff like that.
But
is it worth $600,000 a month?
A day! A day!
Is it worth any amount of money in the hundreds of thousands a day? Probably not. Epic Games makes the Unreal Engine.
Yes.
The Unreal Engine is free, but if you release a title and the title makes more than $3,000, you give Epic Games 5% of gross.
Yeah. And that's per quarter.
Per quarter.
So that means the first $3,000 you make per quarter goes straight to your game and doesn't get cut into, which is
great for indie devs.
Yes.
Because if an indie dev makes $3,000, they're throwing it around and celebrating. That's a huge milestone for anybody that's starting smaller, doing work by themselves. That would be great.
Yeah, we know that the reason why they went around Google is because of the 30%, because they flat out came out and said it. They said, look, we don't view that 70% of this goes to the development and the upkeep and support for our game is not worth 70% of this profit. It needs to be a much higher number. And I really do think that this is going to push Google to either do one of two things: close off their market more.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Or they're going to cut their profits or work out a deal.
I don't think they're going to cut their profits. There's absolutely no way that they're going to let this one game destroy the margin that they're making from every other game that's in there right now. Because it's not $2 million a day is a lot, but when you compare that to every other thing in the App Store, it has to be nothing.
But what happens when Epic sits there and they have their launcher, right? They have got their Epic gameplay store, and then they see all of this, and a bunch of people start going to Epic and pitching their games through their store, and now Epic's got their own
that's
market.
Already happened. That's already happened with the Amazon App Store.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's precedence in the past for them to have allowed that kind of behavior. The problem is, if they decide that they want that money, I don't think they're going to ban launchers. I don't think they're going to ban specificity. I think they're going to shift to an Apple model. They're going to try, and then they're going to fail miserably because the majority of their fan base is going to just be like, hey, cool, bye. Not interested.
The reason I have an Android is because I have the freedom.
Since they're using a Linux kernel, they always have to offer an open version of Android, no matter what. It doesn't have to have their proprietary software on it. It can just be a base OS. And that is going to be what a lot of people like me end up moving to if they end up restricting the ecosystem like Apple.
And you know how much of a Google fanboy I have.
Yeah.
I am. So it's like, I even see this and go, oh, please don't close off this. But I also want to say, 30% is a lot of fucking money for not doing a ton.
And there's a lot of other concerns too, like if they're hosting it, like how are they hosting it? Like I don't feel comfortable with them delivering me content like that. Is that something they know how to do?
Who, Epic?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think the majority of Android players that are going to be downloading Fortnite don't care. Like, and the reason I'm saying that is because the majority of their player base is a significantly younger group.
That's true. And you have to disable so much protection for it to work.
I don't know. We're going to find out. Well, I mean, it's going to be.
I hope we don't find out. I hope it just.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out whether if it works or not.
Perfect forever.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to find out how well or how secure that they are.
Yeah.
But the last little thing that we wanted to talk about before we end this episode is the fact that because Fortnite has become so popular within the world, all of the news has been casting.
Yeah, like mainstream news.
Wall Street Journal, USA Today, The Guardian, all are posting about a website called Gaming Senpai or Game Senpai.
Nope, Sensei.
Game Sensei.
Not Senpai.
Yes, that's it. Where you can hire people by the hour to train you on playing Fortnite.
Yep.
And apparently a lot of parents are hiring these people to train their kids because
it's like a social thing at school. Like your social rank is determined by how many wins you have in X game, with Fortnite being the latest trend. And so parents are worried that like, oh, my kid needs to be popular, and so I'm going to get him some training,
some assistance,
some tutoring instead of math. Like he has a C in math, he only has 4 wins in Fortnite. Got to push those Fortnite numbers, kiddo.
Look, hey, C's average. You're good. You're below average on Fortnite. I don't know. You guys let us know what you think about Epic going around Google. Also tell us and let us know if, Game Senpai is something that you would go
to. Sensei. Senpai is something completely different.
Look, I just want you to notice me, all right? That's all I need you to do. Go over and hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not, and I know most of you are, so do it. And then hit the bell icon as well so that you can get notifications for all of our future content. You can talk to us individually on Twitter if you'd like, and you can do that, for me at least, at IndigoQT.
And you can reach me at QueueTimes on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at the same time at _QueueTimes or at QueueTimes on Instagram.
We have been GameGorgon. See you guys later.